You will have noticed that you've come in on mute, and I'm sharing with you the sort of housekeeping rules for these sessions. But welcome to the Festival of Trusteeship. For some of you, this is your first session. For others, it's your second, because we held our first one a couple of hours ago. So if you were at our first one, then welcome to our second. Otherwise, welcome to your first session. My name is Leon. I'm one of the trainers at Getting On Board, but also part of the support team that helps make the festival run as smoothly as we can. Of course, technology and all the other bits allowing. I just wanted to say that this session is being recorded. The only bit that isn't being recorded is the Q&A session that will happen after Orlando has spoken. You'll get access to the recording and any slides that are used following the session. And weekly pass holders, you'll get all the recordings for all sessions on Friday, so just bear with us. We'll send you all of them at the end of the week. Please stay on muted on the call unless you're asked to unmute. It just helps to make sure that everyone can hear who is talking. Closed captions are available, but you'll need to enable these. We would encourage you to use the chat function to ask questions and share your experiences. We like hearing from you. Please keep your comments respectful, useful and accurate. But also if you find it a massive distraction, just ignore it, because some people do find it a distraction. So if you need to, ignore the chat function if you wish to. The next thing to say is that we're holding networking sessions at the end of Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. In former festivals, you have told us that you wanted more time to get together. So we've given you three sections to do that, though people are still connecting informally through the chat function as well. And then the last 2 points from me are thanks to our media partner, Third Sector, who are supporting this week, and to Ecclesiastical, our sponsors. Their support has meant that the maximum cost for an event is just £5, with many of them free, including all of our aspiring trustee strand. So if you've got anybody that you know that wants to be a trustee but hasn't yet taken the first step, that strand is for them and it's completely free of charge. So please do pass it on to anybody that you know that might be interested. And before we hear from Orlando directly, I'd just like to hand over to Faith from Ecclesiastical. Faith.
Oh, thank you, Leon. And good to see everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Faith Kitchen. I'm representing Ecclesiastical Insurance today. We are honoured to be sponsoring the Festival of Trusteeship again. We think this is a massive, valuable week. And if you can get to as many sessions as possible, that's fantastic. We are a specialist insurer and risk management partner for charities, and we've been committed to the sector for over 135 years. We support the sector not only with our specialist expertise, but also our knowledge of the sector through our research. And as of Friday, we just launched our Charity Risk Barometer report. That includes all of our latest research. We spoke to over 250 charities, and it also went out on Third Sector last Friday as well, but it can also be found on our website. And we've also done some trustee research, which will be incorporating some of the sessions later this week as well. You may also know that Ecclesiastical Insurance is part of the Benefact Group, which is a group of specialist financial services with an ambition to give away all of our available profits to good causes. We're also the third largest corporate donor in the UK, with aspirations to reach number one. The reason I'm telling you that as well is because we are always giving away money to charities, and anyone can nominate your charity, not-for-profit organisation or your KIC, as long as you're in the UK, Republic of Ireland or Channel Islands of Isle of Man. We do have a special draw this week for children's and young people's charities for £5,000, but you can nominate any charity for £1,000 at any time. So we really hope you enjoy this session today and the festival if you're joining other sessions. And thank you very much, Leon.
Thanks, Faith. And over to Penny Wilson, the CEO of Getting On Board, who is chairing today. Penny.
Thank you, Leon. Lovely to see you all. This is a massively well-attended session. It's brilliant to be here. So we're really pleased to have Orlando Fraser with us as our Festival of Trusteeship keynote this year. Orlando is the chair of the Charity Commission for England and Wales, and he's going to talk to us about the theme of this year's Trustees Week, which is many voices working together with purpose. As Leon said, the talk will be followed by Q&A, half with Orlando Fraser and then half with Holly Riley, who is the head of strategic policy at the Charity Commission. Now, I just wanted to say something about how we're going to handle questions before we hand over to Orlando, because I expect that some questions will start to come in as Orlando's speaking. So we're going to choose the questions that we think are most related to trusteeship. We're also most likely, we're going to pick questions that we think are most likely to be of interest to the majority of people in the room. So the more niche your question, the less likely we are to go to it. It's probably unlikely that we'll be able to go to all questions, but as Leon said, we've got networking sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings this week if you want to come along and talk about some of the issues that you've heard about today. And just to reiterate what Leon said, the chat sometimes gets really, really busy in the Festival of Trusteeship. If that's annoying to you, just ignore it. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's very Marmite. Feel free to ignore. When we're asking Orlando or Holly a question, I will always repeat it. And then finally, we just want to remind you to keep questions constructive and respectful. I figure that the Charity Commission is made up of humans just trying to do a good job in sometimes awkward circumstances, just like trustees and charity leaders. So there we go. So on that note, I'm going to pass over to Orlando.
Thank you, Penny. I think you're exactly right in that latter point, and indeed many other points that you made. I'm delighted to have this opportunity on the first day of Trustees Week to speak to you about the vital role that trustees play in our society and what we at the Charity Commission are doing to support them. I want to start by acknowledging the great work of getting on board in championing trusteeship and in training and recruiting trustees from all walks of life. Your work at getting on board is playing an important role in equipping the next generation of trustees and in supporting charities to find the right people to step up and serve. One of the privileges of my role is having the chance to visit charities across England and Wales to meet the trustees, volunteers, and staff who give so much time and effort to ensuring that they thrive. I've had the opportunity to visit an extraordinary range of charities, from a community garden in Birmingham to a veterans hub in Barry, from bereavement support in Stafford to museums in Bath. What they all have in common are dedicated and supportive trustees who give their time for a cause they believe in. Trustees are critical to the charity ecosystem in England and Wales. Their contribution helps shape the character, the well-being, and the resilience of our communities, meeting the needs of beneficiaries across the country and in some cases across the world. So the first and the most important thing I want to say today is thank you to each and every trustee, nearly 1 million people across the country. Your service deserves to be recognised, and I'm delighted that Trustees Week gives us the opportunity to shine a light on you. You are leading the way where, for the good of society, many more need to follow. Trustees Week is a time for us to come together to celebrate the achievements of trustees and to recognise the time, commitment, and effort they bring to their charities to help them thrive. It is also an opportunity for trustees themselves to connect with others, to share experiences and develop skills. It is also a moment for all of us to consider what more can be done to inspire others to get involved and to encourage prospective trustees to take up the baton. And of course, it is also a moment for non-trustees from all backgrounds and walks of life to think about how they could step up to the plate and become trustees to put something back into society. The Charity Commission is delighted to work with our partners to support Trustees Week with a range of events and activities going on across the sector centred on this year's theme, many voices working together with purpose. It's a phrase that sums up the nature of trusteeship, as people with different perspectives and backgrounds come together to deliver on a common purpose for the benefit of society. Now, I recognise that the Commission has a crucial role to play in implementing the environment in which trustees operate. The decisions we take, the services we provide, and the guidance we offer all play a material part in the daily life of the trustee. When I joined the Commission, I set out my intention to lead an expert regulator that supports trustees as much as possible, guided by our values of fairness, balance, and independence. Fairness means simply that we will follow the law and make sure that we offer a fair legal process to all when using our powers. balance means that we will strike the right balance in being robust and being supportive, holding charities to account for meeting basic standards and dealing robustly with intentional wrongdoers and those who are grossly negligent, but acting in a proportionate way and not coming down hard on trustees who make honest, reasonable mistakes. We recognize that trustees are almost always volunteers who are not necessarily legal or financial experts. Honest mistakes will occur, and I want us to focus on helping trustees put them right when things have not gone according to plan. And we will work independently, meaning that we will undertake our duties free of the influence of party politicians, of government, of interest groups, of the media, and of the sector itself. Yet be alive and aware of their priorities and concerns, looking forward to identify risks that face the sector at large and evolving our approach where these may jeopardize public trust in the sector. The Commission's 5-year strategy, due to be launched in January, will commit us as an organisation to embed and live these values. And I hope that you will all recognise and share the progress we make as we do so. In my very first speech as chair of the Commission, I said that I wanted us to focus on supporting trustees to get it right. I want to reiterate that here in Trustees Week and set out some of the ways in which we have been doing that. Most importantly, our guidance, which is easily available online and designed to help trustees run their charities and understand their legal obligations, written in plain English or indeed Welsh, and designed to be accessible to all. Earlier this year, we published our newest piece of guidance on charities' use of social media. It makes clear that social media can be a highly effective way for a charity to engage its audiences and communicate its work, but that there are risks involved for which trustees should plan. If your charity makes use of social media, then I would encourage you to read it. I want trustees to feel able to come to us when they need advice. The Commission is a source of free, authoritative advice, but too few trustees come to us in the first place. With that in mind, we've been working to complement our guidance with a range of other tools to help trustees, including our suite of bite-sized 5-minute guides which cover a variety of issues, from the basics of managing charity finances to our newest guide on political activity and campaigning. And last month, we launched our most recent trustee engagement campaign focused around a new trustee quiz to encourage participants to test their knowledge. So far, the quiz has been taken by nearly 50,000 times by people online. The campaign culminates this week, so please do check it out if you haven't already seen it. And of course, try to get 10 out of 10. Average score, I think, is 80%, so pretty pleased by that so far. Our annual return for 2023 has also been updated with trustees in mind, following an extensive consultation. The updated question set will help us better assess risks facing charities, as well as enhancing the transparency and accountability of the sector. But it's also designed to be more user-friendly and easier for charities to navigate, with simplified questions and less information required for smaller organizations. The annual return is accessible through our new My Charity Commission account, our new digital service, which has been available since July. The service is designed to facilitate a more direct relationship with trustees, helping to ensure that they are supported in their role and equipped to run their charities well. This will be a significant long-term change in our relationship with trustees. I'm aware that some charities are having issues onboarding on the new service at the moment. Most are successfully on board, around 150,000, but some are experiencing problems. I would like to use this opportunity to make clear that the Commission will ensure that no charity is disadvantaged because of difficulties accessing the service. And we're working hard to meet the high demand of queries that we're receiving from those wanting assistance accessing and using the system. Overall, our work is intended to show our existing trustees that we are there to help, and to non-trustees that there is plenty of support from us to help you take up the baton and now become trustees. As well as supporting existing trustees, I'm keen to explore what more can be done to broaden the appeal of trusteeship to the widest range of people. Indeed, I sometimes hear as I travel the country that our organizations are struggling to recruit new trustees. Each person's story is different, and each trustee I've met had a different reason for getting involved. For some, it's because of their direct personal link with the cause, an illness or bereavement they have suffered, or an issue in their community which has touched them in some way. For others, it is a way of giving something back and using their time and abilities in a way that benefits others. As we reflect again on the theme for Trustees Week, a reminder that many voices are required to enable our sector to thrive. So the Commission is keen to see more people step up to serve their communities as trustees and trust that more will do so to fulfill their social obligations to society. In the words of President Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. As with each challenge facing the charity sector, we are continually engaging with stakeholders to further understand the issues involved, as well as encouraging the sector to think proactively about how to encourage more people from all backgrounds to seek trusteeship and serve alongside them. We will be active throughout Trustees Week with this objective in mind, and I hope that many people will seriously look into serving in this way this week. So as Trustees Week gets underway, I want to reiterate my thanks to all those who serve in this way. The public service exemplified by trustees and volunteers goes to the very heart of the meaning of charity. It is something that helps bring us together as a society, and it is something that we will rightly celebrate and acknowledge this week and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much.